Now back to Cofield Company, live from Victory Burger, inside Circa Resort and Casino, on ESPN Las Vegas.
NFL free agency winding down? Not really, no. As I say every year, the best spot to be in and the way to operate with NFL free agency is to play the middle class. Maybe you get a big ticket item, but don't go crazy. I mean, don't do the other end, which is the Cowboys don't spend anything and then will delay re-signing their players until 4 other players at the position sign before them, and then Micah Parsons has to get now somewhere between Max Crosby and Myles Garrett money. So probably could have gotten it done for like $32 million, $30 million, $28 million a year. But, you know, those guys make $35.5 and $40 million respectively. So now they just added potentially another like $70 million onto the deal. Don't do that. You sent over a link. I didn't even look at it because all it is a list of free agent signings. And you said free agency bonanza. So go. What were you excited about to this point?
It's not really that I'm excited. I just like, well, okay, I am excited. It's like Christmas. You know, you get to find out where everybody goes. You get to find out how much they're going to go for. Plus, I think it's hilarious because this happens every year, and I do it too. We get so crazy about the initial numbers, and then you see what other guys signed for. You're like, damn, Max Crosby's actually kind of a deal now. When you look at, I mean, the Patriots signed Milton Williams, who's a backup, almost a third stringer on the Eagles. I mean, he rotates in with Ocho.
Good.
He's good. He's a good player. Yeah. I'm just saying.
They spent a lot of money, though.
They spent $25 million a year on him.
They couldn't get anyone.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
We set this up, and I'm not lecturing you. We set this up 3 or 4 weeks ago that when DK Metcalf said, Patriots, I'm not going to New England, and he wound up getting his deal. He's going to get like $33 million a year from the Steelers, and he signed knowing they don't have a quarterback right now. That's how little he wanted to go to New England. New England's been turned down left and right. Ronnie Stanley got offered $24 million a year. Bishop Gorman guy, local guy. He took less money to stay with the Ravens. Now the Ravens are good, but the Ravens also have a good culture. Chris Godwin was offered upwards of $30 million as an older receiver by the Patriots. And Godwin's like, I'm going to stay home.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
There's Mike Vrabel will help. But I'm telling you, the Patriots culture, which when they're winning, you deal with it. It really started to come to light the last 3 years of Belichick. And then we see, like, as an example, that NFLPA poll comes out, and you're thinking, man, Bob Kraft, that guy's beloved. And the players were like, the facilities suck. The headquarters blow. It's old. Our airplane is like 60 years old. And these sound like little things, but guess what? That's what players look at. Oh, you spoiled NFL player. Well, then guess what? I don't know why I keep saying guess what. Then you're not going to get free agents. They get to pick where they want to go. They're free.
Yeah, well, that's like I said that before. If you work at a company, like one of these companies that has 13 locations in town, are you going to go to the highest rated location if you can, or are you going to go to the worst one where they treat the employees the worst? That's pretty ridiculous. I was going to ask you this, though. Do you think that it's because of that or more because of the New England fan base reputation towards certain players who just don't want to go there?
I think it's mostly the reputation of the organization, that they're not a top-notch organization in terms of the way they treat the players.
That's surprising,
they don't treat them poorly, but the creature comforts, they're cheap.
Do you think that Kraft's going to look at this, though? Because I feel like
he already is. They are building.
Okay.
There's a new facility on the way.
But I feel like he was probably surprised when he saw this. Like, what?
I bet his feelings were hurt.
Yeah. Because he doesn't seem like the kind. I'm not saying I would hang out with the guy. He's a great guy or anything. I don't know him, but he seems like the kind of guy that would like take it personally and be like, "Oh man, I want us to have the best of everything." The Patriot way.
I mean, if I were to guess, maybe there's one Kraft who is generous to the point where he's overly generous. Maybe the next guy in is going to be like Steinbrenner Jr.
Yeah.
Maybe Johnny Kraft, the son, who's taken over, maybe he's a skinflint. I don't know. It might be the opposite. But they fell behind, and now they're trying to catch up, and it's like, hey, we got a lot of money here. We could really build something. And players are like, nope, we'll take a pass. I love this. I saw Bill Simmons, who's, fan turned media guy, still a fan, very rich fan, way above us. Right. There's a gap. He was expressing frustration when the Pats were getting turned down. He's like, man, in a league where everyone is paying their quarterback $50 million, seems like everyone still has money. Well, they have money because they know how to work the salary cap, and your place is not a desired location. Kansas City can play with the salary cap. The Rams can play with the salary cap. Those are desired locations. They have coaches who are cool and win. Maybe you guys are going to be cool again with Vrabel, but yeah, the Patriots took it on the chin. They had all this money. And then the flip side, the Bears.
Yeah.
Bears have spent and spent and spent and spent. Now, just like the Patriots, Greg, they have the advantage of having the quarterback in the second year making no money, which is when you have big bucks. So Caleb Williams. But here's the other thing. I think the culture of the Bears and Ryan Poles leading the organization. Griffin doesn't love him, but Ryan Poles leading the organization and who they brought in to run things. It's a desired spot. It's an attractive spot.
I think Ben Johnson's the attractive spot.
And you've got an offensive guru. And that would be the other argument for offensive players, even if it's friggin' linemen.
Right. No, I totally agree.
Offensive players like Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel.
Yeah. No, and they made a lot of signings that are actually good defensive. I like Grady Jarrett. I know he's, maybe not prime Grady Jarrett, but they had it pretty cheap. I mean, 3 years, $43 million compared to what some of these other guys are signing for. I think that's pretty good. Deo, they got on the edge, 3 years, $48 million. So I mean, I think they did pretty good. I do think
they got Spillane too, right, from the Raiders.
That's right. Yeah. Wait, did Spillane go there? I thought Spillane went to the Steelers for some reason.
He was with the Steelers.
Oh, okay.
So Spillane took the money, but they probably had to overpay for him a little bit because they had a big amount of money. So we'll see how it works out. They may, what's funny? In the end, they may have been saved from themselves. $30 million for Chris Godwin is stupid. Ronnie Stanley.
I was talking about the Bears. Are you talking about the Pats?
I was going back to the Pats.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So you were saying the Bears have signed. Well, the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears. I was talking about the Bears defense.
The Bears got 3 offensive line starters. Which guess what? When you get sacked 68 times, shore up the offensive line.
Yeah, of course.
Which last year they kind of went the opposite way, where they're like, "Hey, let's go get a number 1 receiver," and it may work out. Where Roma Dunze is awesome, and it pays dividends down the road. But I think a lot of Bears fans are like, "How about that offensive line for Caleb Williams?"
Of course. I mean, say what you want about Caleb Williams, but I like Jalen Hurts a lot. But there's times where Jalen Hurts is standing there for 5 seconds, as nobody's anywhere near him. If you give Caleb Williams that much time, he's going to find a guy probably.
Miss any part of your favorite radio show? Catch up at lvsportsnetwork.com.